Let me ask you a question. Weightlifting. Have you heard of it? Have you tried it? What is it like, weightlifting? Well, I started weightlifting too. It started off really small for me, but then I started getting better at it. This is my second year of weightlifting, and while weightlifting, I started thinking about something. Who originated weightlifting? Why was this a thing to do? To get buff? To get strong? When was this a goal? Why did this all start? Well, today, this is why I'm answering that question. What started weightlifting? Well, get some popcorn, take a seat, because here is the history of weightlifting. Weightlifting was originated over 5,000 years ago in Egypt, Greece, and China. This type of weightlifting was only for training. By lifting big heavy stones, sticks, and rocks to help their civilization. Of course, this wasn't for competing, they had to help their village grow because it was such a long time ago. But then competitive weightlifting organized in 19th century Europe with the first World Championships held in London in 1891.
Spinal column is carrying a moderate load on the head. Balancing a load on the head forces all parts of the spinal column to become active, and it develops strength and flexibility. We have seen that bones develop out of soft cartilage during the years of growth. Proper food gives the body all the essential building materials for a healthy frame. Proper exercise influences the size and strength of the bones. Once developed, the body frame needs to be kept strong and healthy by good posture.
By the early 1900s, competitive weightlifting started being a real thing in sports, becoming an Olympic sport as more weights and more equipment kept getting more advanced and advanced. And around 1930, this became an Olympic sport, weightlifting, officially registered inside the Olympics.
At the present time,
But around this time when this sport was allowed in the Olympics, this was around the same time as World War II started. So the first time of these sports were really unfair and mistreated just because of the racism and discrimination that was happening back then.
Their overtures ignored, the Nazis took to parading German athletes in an effort to impress those of foreign blood with the virile beauty and manly vigor of the master race.
But still, this was the prime time of weightlifting because in this era, it made the sport even more popular in the future. Which leads into our next era of weightlifting. Well, it kinda goes downhill from there. Carbon 26, hydrogen 44, nitrogen 2, and 1 oxygen. That's in cellular form. In word form, this is known as steroids. Here's what it looks like microscopically in physical form. This one drug usage ruined the whole sport of weightlifting. People are getting kicked out of the Olympic Games, local events, and many more, adding fake muscle to the body and doing no hard work. With this new drug added into the game, a lot of people and famous people were getting kicked out of weightlifting competition because they didn't want to do no more hard work and just wanted to take drugs. This is some footage of what it looked like the first time people banning weightlifters from the competition.
Andrew Saxton, one of the two banned weightlifters, heard the news from Spain in a telephone call to his Oxford home. He gave his reaction in a brief statement to waiting reporters.
The news saddens myself, my family and all my friends. I can't say any more because of the continuing appeal, so God bless you all and goodbye.
As Saxton retired to consider his future, the Sports Council, which carried out the tests, welcomed the decision, and they rejected the suggestion that the confusion of the last 24 hours could damage Manchester's bid to host the Olympics.
Through the stance that we have taken over the last few days, the IOC should be even more assured that anti-doping programme will remain very tough and rigorous. So I would have hoped that far from this being a negative effect on Manchester, I hope that it will be seen in the long term that this is very positive.
But the council acknowledged that the whole affair had revealed an urgent need for the world sporting organisations to get together and draw up clearer guidelines on drugs which are banned. Harry Smith, ITN, Central London.
And just like that, someone from the weightlifting competition just got banned like that. This just doesn't happen in one sport, it can happen in many sports. Like famously known Lance Armstrong was the best cyclist in the world, competing from 1999 and 2005. Unfortunately, Lance Armstrong got caught taking steroids and was banned and stripped of all of his Olympic titles in 2012. This steroid addiction just can't happen in one sport, but in many. This weightlifting era had some bad things, but had some good things. A lot of really good weightlifters came out of this era, but unfortunately, some had to quit due to really bad injuries. Now we move on to this era of weightlifting, what is currently happening right now. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I have no more footage of just, people weightlifting. At this point, weightlifting isn't even a sport no more, it's just a flex. I mean, I'm 14 years old right now, and look at this kid right here. 415 pounds as a bench press? I can barely do 55 pounds, which is a lot for me. Which is one of the main reasons why I made this video. Nowadays, all it's about is flexing and seeing how much muscle you grow. Which, I think this is just poor. Everything is poor about this. These teenagers and these TikToks they make about themselves weightlifting, an absurd amount of weight, has more views than the actual competition itself. Now these days, all it's about is flexing and seeing how much that you can lift and impressing people, which is just such a bad idea. Which for me, I just wanted to help my sports for running and cross country and doing wrestling and track. For myself, I have these books that will help me weightlift in a proper way instead of just slapping on a bunch of weights and just lifting that. That's not the proper way to weightlift. I just look at the book and see what helps me and what doesn't help me. Well, I guess that's it. You made it to the end of the video where that's just every era of weightlifting that I can describe. I don't know if there's more things that I missed, just let me know. And yeah. This video took a while to make and it's my second one, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Goodbye!